Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? My name is Varanus, and welcome to the Redacted project. I'm going to be showing you my playthrough of Psychosurgery difficulty using the Barricade Rig, Battery Charger, Evasive Maneuver, and Boosted, which gave me a battery booster, which is hilarious because running Battery Charger. Um, um, so we're going to talk about the lore elements in a little bit, but I want to focus on the big important thing, the actual MK challenge as they labeled it as. It's not an MK challenge. It's not a trial. It's a hybrid, is what I would say. Um, Whenever you do an MK challenge usually has one puzzle that you got to solve, right? Like when you're doing the like any of the orphanage ones, it's like go and do the radios or go and gather the bleach, or in the only one that has like multiple puzzles, it has two puzzles. Get the keys and unlock the key boxes, and that's it. Like that's your challenge, right? Like it's usually like one puzzle, whether it's a like a quick puzzle or a harder puzzle, is one puzzle. And so when I look at this, there's two separate rooms with two separate puzzles that have their own challenges, and they can be swapped. Not the room, not the physical rooms, but like the puzzles. So the rooms are the same, but the puzzles are not, and that's its own unique little challenge there. The puzzles themselves are ones that we've done before, either killing scapegoats or killing the yellow nipples, as I just call them by. It's basically the same explosive device that's in the scapegoat's head, but I just see it on the walls. It's just like this little yellow nipple thing sticking out, so I just call it the yellow nipple. It's not hard. The only difference between them is on the scapegoat side, you get a permanent detonator and a tracker, and on the other side, you have the unstable ones. So you have to actually like take them and blow up the nipple, and then you have to get a new one multiple times over. So what I like to do, if I'm able to do it correctly, is go to the side that has the scapegoats, get the permanent one, and then go over to the other side. Here's the problem. They technically alternate. I didn't know that they alternate. I mean, I knew that they alternate. They said they alternate, but I thought that that was just bullshit. I thought they were just bullshitting. Because when I played it, dozens of times before this one, by the way, the left side was always the nipples, the right side was the scapegoat. Right? For me, it was always that way. Nipples on the left, scapegoats on the right. So I would go to the scapegoat, deal with the scapegoats, go over to the other side, use the permanent detonator so I didn't have to pick up a bunch of fucking little things, and I could always hold on to a steady inventory. So it was nice, it was easy. Well, then when I recorded the psychosurgery one, this one, I was like, okay, great, let's go over and let's go do the scapegoats. And I get over there and I'm dealing with temporary devices and nipples. I'm like, what the fuck, game? It was hilarious. It made me laugh while I was recording it, but I was like, oh, well, whatever. Um, Difficulty-wise, it's not that difficult. Like, you have, as far as I can tell, it's 2 X-Pop on the main level, and then 1 will be down in the basement area. Usually it's a heavy down in the basement area, and upstairs it's usually 2 Gen X. Sometimes it's a Gen X and a heavy. Now, I know in the game they now classify it as Grunt and Big Grunt, but I remember when I looked at the lore originally, in the lore, it just called them by like the General X-Pop, and it talked about them as the General X-Pop, and then there was the Heavy X-Pop, and, you know, all the lore implications behind the Heavy X-Pop, you know, be careful when transporting the Heavy X-Pop, because if you accidentally turn them on, they get very aggressive, and like this whole, like, oh, that's okay. So you got to transport them extra carefully. Interesting. You know, there's a whole bunch of weird little lore bits, but it was about the heavy X-Pop, not the big grunt. So it's a little confusing for me there, but I'm like, oh, well, whatever. The devs can classify them however they want. Um, the Finding the yellow nipples is really not that hard. They buzz, they make all kinds of noise, so you can literally like just crouch around and listen for them, and you'll find them. The scapegoats, there's like a couple of spawn locations, so even if you don't take the tracker, you can just like rotate through the spawn locations and you'll bump into one eventually. The downstairs area has one singular spawn location that I've seen for the scapegoats. I've never seen them downstairs. During this playthrough, I don't think I ever saw one downstairs. No, did I? I don't remember. We'll see. You'll be able to see here in just a little bit when the video gets to that point. But on the side where I deal with the nipples, there's one singular place that they spawn. And it's on the far end from where you enter, where the stairwell is. You can see down onto a little landing at the bottom. And so you would see the scapegoat down there, and you could be able to blow up the scapegoat from the top of the stairs. You didn't even have to go downstairs. The downstairs areas are completely different. The one that is on the side that I'm currently on, with the nipple side, dear God in heaven, that downstairs area sucks because it's literally just a giant S with some areas of really tight corners and some areas of open space. And the areas that are open are really not that open, so you can still get caught out by the X-Pop. And the narrow areas are too narrow for you to get around anybody, so you kind of have to use a brick bottle or stun rig or something to get out of there if they're in your way, or you just turn around. And that's kind of the big issue, that the downstairs area you want to avoid at all costs. But the downstairs area and the middle section are the only areas that are really ever dark, so then you never use your night vision. Most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. It's like the middle area is the dark area, and then the outside area is fine. Let's see, what else is there to bring up with the two side areas? I think that pretty much sums it up. I hope that they introduce new versions of the sides. Maybe not a scapegoat or nipple hunt. Maybe they do one side where you have to do like 10 radios, and then the other side you'd have to do 10 what's his name, Futterman targets. Maybe you have to do, I don't know, there's so many things they could do. And I would love to see them rotate them out and do other things, or just add them onto a rotation list, so then you don't always just get those two guys right now. The boss fight, actually, sorry, one thing before the boss fight. The prime assets randomly spawn, right? You've probably seen them a couple of times. Saw the Crest Twins smash through a door while I was hiding in a locker. Different things like that. The X-Pop, the prime assets are there. Problem. During this phase that you're seeing me in, I've never seen Mother Gooseberry. Never once have I seen Mother Gooseberry. During the second phase, after the boss fight, I've never seen Lilia. I've only ever seen the others. I don't know if that's a hard-coded thing or if that's just a mistake on the devs' end. I don't know, but I've never seen Lilia in the second half, and I've never seen Mother Gooseberry in the first half. So, something I'd just like to address there. Maybe there's lore implication behind it, but I'm not going to because I feel like it's a bug. What is next to talk about? Yeah, just to go straight over to the boss fight. The boss fight is kind of mid if you're doing the lower difficulties. So if you do the lower difficulties solo, right? Like I did standard and intensive, and somebody might have to correct me on the intensive one because I don't quite remember that one, but the standard one I've done a couple of times. Whatever it is, you only have to deal with the Jaeger, which is not hard at all. The Jaeger is so easy to deal with. When you deal with a team or you're on psychosurgery, there's a prime asset. I think they kind of they just pick a random prime asset. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. I thought that they picked the prime asset based off of what the trap was, but then I realized they don't, because during this one, you'll get to see it. I have to do a Kill the Snitch final boss with Jaeger and Lilia. So I was like, well, okay, I guess it's not going to be Coil. I was expecting Coil when I saw it through the window. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to be dealing with Coil and Jaeger. And then all of a sudden I see Lilia come out with, her freaking manic walk and her blade hand. I'm like, you do not have a baton to shock my balls off. who are you and why are you taking Coil's place? So obviously that was a surprise. Doing whichever one it is, I have seen it be the bodies where you have to hit the targets to drown drown Amelia in the bodies. I have seen it be the furnace where you have to set them on fire with somebody turning a pump and then other people pumping the pumps. I have seen it be the kill the snitch. I've seen those three. I don't know if there's any others. Now, what others would there be? There would be the cranks from Vindicate the Jury. Or Vindicate the Judge. Jury? I don't remember. It's the one in the courtroom. The Vindicate trap, or a boss fight. It could be eventually the shopping mall boss fight with the carnival acid spray. Then we could eventually get the spoil the auction where we need to, break apart the body with the gears. I don't know how that one would necessarily work. Like, are they going to put the gears scattered in the original trial area because there's no real downstairs for the boss fight? Like, I don't know. That would be an interesting one to figure out. And then the last one that it could be is the new one where you do the tapes and then you push the buzzsaw through it. But again, another one of those, how would they handle that because of needing to go get like separate items for it? I would like to see the other ones though at some point. That would be cool. Dealing with the Jaeger is normal. I feel like they made the Jaeger. The Jaeger used to be invulnerable to bottles and bricks, and I feel like in some update at some point they changed that. Because now, whenever I am face to face with a Jaeger, all I gotta do is just throw a bottle at their head, and they get the like old heavy X-pop stun. Because they made heavy X-pop now actually react a bit more to being bottled or bricked, especially if you hit them in the head. And now with the Jaeger, if you hit them in the head, they have the old version of the heavy X-pop stun, where they just like turn their head real quick and they're like, ah, and then come right back at you. So I don't know why they made them more vulnerable to that. I understand the barricade rig. They're like, okay, well, we're gonna actually make the barricade rig a counter to the Jaeger. Fine. I don't like it. I think that's stupid. The Jaeger is supposed to be the unstoppable force. Why does it take them 3 hits on a barricade? It should take them 1 hit. The Jaeger is supposed to be the powerhouse that is terrifying and scary and makes you worried that you're just going to die no matter what. But it's like not in this version. This version literally when you're dealing with the normal, like it's like when I'm dealing with like the normal trials, what I do is I loop it around to one of the open areas, barricade it so that then he's stuck in that room, and then the shortest pathway back, I barricade that door, and then just get started on the actual challenge. And by the time he gets back to me, it's a she, whatever. By the time the Jaeger gets back to me, I'm already done. And so then the Jaeger just wanders off. I was like, what the fuck? So I think there needs to be some more threat to occur, because even when it's Franco Barbie, which everybody hates Franco Barbie, they say that Franco Barbie is the hardest of the X-Pop of the Prime Assets to deal with. I disagree. I think he's one of the easiest. But everybody's like, oh my god, he's the hardest. It's fine, he's the hardest. Even when we were dealing with him, one of the times, it was stupidly easy. Like, you ran in a door, he waddled his way over to the door, smashed the door down, waddled around, waddled over towards a new noise that he heard, waddles around. You put a barricade rig, he has to smash the barricade rigs. He's about to shoot you, you put an obstacle between you, he can't shoot. Then he has to stop for like 2 seconds when he's about to shoot you again, and then he can't shoot you because he got behind something but between them. Like, he's really not hard to deal with. He's annoying, but not hard. So I feel like there needs to be some more challenge to it, because right now it's really meh. like even when you're in a 4-man, okay, so you're in a 4-man group, right? And let's say you have to do the kill the snitch one. I don't care if it's Lily or whoever, like whatever it is, right? So the person who has the Jaeger on their ass just goes and says, "Got it. I'm gonna go play pin the tail on the Jaeger," and just goes wherever they need to go for the Jaeger to attempt to kill them, and is just gonna wander around the entire time. And so then there's 3 people doing the trial of trying to kill the snitch, and then there's a freaking whatever it is. Let's say it's Lilia. Okay, congratulations, Lilia comes out. You run away really quickly, you barricade a door, you make Lilia waste time on that. You go around, when she smashes through, you barricade the door behind her. And then like while she's busy dealing with that, someone's already back on there powering the thing up, and so then you just waste so much of her time. Maybe you have somebody with a blind rig place a blind mine right outside of the barricaded doors. After she smashes her way through, she's then stunned for even longer. Like, there's so many things you can do. It just becomes so easy in the 4-man group. In the solo, yeah, in the solo it's hell because you're by yourself, but it's really not hard. The next area, you have to wander through some open. You have to wander through a couple of what's the way to describe it? Like some like caves, I guess. Like you wander through some caves, you smash through some boarded up doors. They're not really boarded up doors, but there's like it's a boarded up railway, like if it was an abandoned mine. So you smash through all those. Then you get to the outside, which is no longer outside. You can tell it's clearly like a painted facade. They like built a structure around it. And then hit the button. You get a timer for 45 seconds while Easterman yells at you for trying to escape or even thinking about escaping, and blah blah blah. There is no escape. The only escape is through him. And while he's yelling at you, you've got one of the prime assets coming at you from the cave, and then you've got the Jaeger spawning from the door right there. And you have to deal with him for 45 seconds from when you hit the button at least. And then the gate will open and you can all leave. Honestly, the easiest thing to do, this is what I do every single time, I make sure that I'm holding onto a bottle, and then when you hit the button, you run back into the cave, and there's going to be the prime asset coming to start following the path behind you. You just throw the bottle, they're going to turn back, look at the bottle, you bunny hop away. You only have to deal with a Jaeger moving at, a snail's pace, and then you get out. Even if it's psychosurgery, like you'll see what I do on psychosurgery, it's even easier. There's like they spawn while you're down there. It's like while you're smashing the doors down, they're like slowly chasing after you. Oh no, the horror. And then you just throw a bottle and they go that way, and then you go hit the button and you run back to throw another bottle, and then they run away, and then congratulations, now you're still just dealing with the Jaeger, and oh no, the Jaeger's right there. You run around in circles, and then you now can throw a brick to stun them temporarily to like run past them. It's so fucking, it's so, why did they nerf the Jaeger? This is the only problem I've ever had with Red Barrels, is that they look at players who play on standard difficulty and never try anything harder. And then when they get put in a situation that's slightly harder than what they're used to, because they're looking at Kill the Snitch and saying, well, Kill the Snitch is great and super easy, but then anything harder than Kill the Snitch and it's got to be nerfed. And so they got mad with the Crest Twins. So the Crest Twins now effectively live only in dark maps. Those two never want to spend any time in the light like they do in the shopping mall, because that's too overpowered for them to be able to have full 360 vision around them. So we put them in the dark where they can't see anything, and then they're basically just a really mutated version of a regular X-Pop. They're not even a prime asset anymore. They're not terrifying. There's nothing to be afraid of with them. So I don't understand why they keep nerfing things, because the people playing on standard difficulty are complaining that it's too hard. Like, my favorite challenge, my absolute favorite challenge in this game is to play with, like, you pick a map. I don't care. I pick a random map each time. But I do Psychosurgery. I used to do level 1, but now I get to do Broken Reagent. Because I don't even put salvage, I don't put salvage rigs. I don't put nothing like that. I just, do Broken Reagent with it. I then will do, like, deadly prime assets, freaking prime time with, you know, maximum population, throw on like permafrost, no running. You know, I make challenges that are nightmares compared to anything that Red Barrels has given us yet. And yet people are freaking out as if, you know, oh, the Jaeger can't be stopped by anything. Well, then that's broken. We need to make that easier to deal with. Guys, come on, seriously? You can't deal with a slow-moving Jaeger? The Jaeger, like, I'm gonna be honest, when the Jaeger spawns, everyone's like, oh my god, no, 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 and I'm sitting there like, oh, thank fuck for that. That's 3 minutes of my time where I don't have to deal with a pusher or a pitcher or anything else. I just have to deal with a Jaeger. 3 minutes of my time, just a Jaeger. I am set. Or like, if the variator is like a permanent Jaeger, I'm like, oh, yes, thank you. Who needs to play babysit? Like, who's on babysitting duty? Okay, go babysit them at the beginning of the map. Like, nobody spawns down there. Just go babysit at the beginning of the map. When we need you because we have to push a button, we'll call you. It's so fucking easy. It's so fucking easy. Anyways, enjoy the rest of this. Oh, no. We need to talk about lore. We need to talk about lore. So, I mentioned in my previous video talking about Project Judas that I do not think Amelia Collier is actually dead. And one of the reasons why is if you listen to the Amelia that is inside of that tube there, or technically strapped to that chest, that chair there, they will tell you they're not Amelia. They will say that over and over again. I'm not Amelia. I'm not Amelia. I think that when Amelia was strapped up on the screens there, I think that they didn't let her go. I think she escaped. I think at some point she managed to get out of the restraints and she escaped back to her hidey hole. And she's been there ever since. And I think that Easterman has been saying that they still have her because it's easier to keep the masses quelled if they truly believe that she's gone. And she knows that she has to stay in hiding because they now know she's out there, so she needs to be even more careful. And I think that that's why this was released, was Easterman and his group could see that she was plotting something, and so now he's trying to get control again. He needs to keep people from believing that she's out there. And I think that's a whole lore perspective on this. So anyways, I will let you see the last little bit here of me dealing with prime assets and the Jaeger in the finale. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves.
It's Gooseberry.
Dr. Fireman?
There's nothing